Good morning, Center for Spiritual Living Beaumont. I bid you all a good morning. And for those of you that are online, I'm very happy that you're joining us this morning for meditation. My name is Siv Adams. I'm one of the practitioners here at the center in Beaumont. I suggest that you take a deep breath in and breathe out. And if you wish, close your eyes. I'm going to read you a few meditations from the Science of Mind book by Ernest Holmes. And we will also just have stillness in between. So one more time, take a deep breath in and breathe out. Be still and know. Be still and know that I am God. I am still in your presence. I am quiet and peaceful, for I put my trust in you. A great stillness steals over me, and a great calm quiets my whole being as I realize your presence. The heart knows of you, almost high within. It is still in your presence, and it puts its whole confidence in you alone. In your presence, I am still. Focus on your breathing. Breathe in and breathe out. I will give thanks to my inner life for all its marvelous wonders and for all its wonderful works. I will sing and be glad, for I know that I am hidden with your truth in a perfect life. Thanksgiving and praise. The fullness of joy is mine. Be still and know that I am God. Thanksgiving and praise. The fullness of joy is mine. I invite you to take a deep breath in and breathe out. And slowly come back into this holy space of the sanctuary. Open your eyes when you feel so comfortable. And I thank you for having joined me today for this meditation here at the CSL Beaumont.
We're going to light our flames of faith, and we're going to light the first flame of faith for the shamanic tradition. And the shamanic tradition honors the beliefs and the practices of all the indigenous people. So we're honoring the shamanic tradition. We're lighting our second flame of faith for Hinduism. And Hinduism honors the path of knowledge, action, and devotion. We're now lighting candle and the flame of faith for the Tao. And the Tao honors harmony, equilibrium, and the natural way. And we now light the fourth candle for Judaism, which honors wisdom and wonder and oneness. And we'll light our fifth candle and our fifth flame of faith. And we're lighting this for Buddhism. Buddhism honors the Four Noble Truths and the path of compassion. And we light the sixth candle, which is already burning for all forms of Christianity. We honor the Christ consciousness within all of humanity, that goodness, that oneness, that kindness, and that love. And we will light the seventh candle for all forms of Islam. And so we're honoring in Islam the path of compliance with the will of Spirit as the highest calling. And we light the eighth candle, our eighth candle in our flames of faith for the universal religion of Baha'i. And Baha'i in our flames of faith honors the path of unity and peace. And now we light a flame of faith for all religions and all paths and all ways, which become the one way of the one Spirit, of that wonder of the one that lights our life and lights the light that lights the way on this planet. And our final candle, our final flame of faith, is for our New Thought tradition, which teaches us that as we use our words as power, as we use our words as presence, as we use that word of light as the light of love becomes the oneness and the wholeness and the perfection, and as so on earth. And so we're honoring in our flames of faith today, we're honoring all traditions, that oneness of the light of the flame of faith, that oneness of the light of love, that oneness of the light of kindness and caring and compassion. That's our Science of Mind message. That's our unity message. That's the message of the Tao, the message of Judaism, the message of Hinduism, the message of Islam. One love, one light, one truth, that we are. And together I invite us to say, and so it is. And so I see some faces we haven't seen in a while. Good to see you back. Good to have you back. Good to see you, Lily. Good to see you. And so Chuck, if you give me a hands up signal when we're at 10 o'clock. All right, so I want to welcome everybody online. Our online viewers are having a little tech issues right now, so bear with us, and we hope to have those fixed momentarily. In-house, we're not having any online issues, and we know that we're in perfect alignment with Spirit, so we're not worried about being in line, we're just aligned, and that works for all of us. We'd like to remind you that you're always welcome at the Center for Spiritual Living Beaumont, and we welcome your light and your presence and your love. And we would like to ask you at this time if you could silence your cell phone. We know that Spirit calls through all means and all ways and all messages and all manners, but right now we'd like to create that silence in our sacred sanctuary, create that sacred space and create that sacred oneness where we can hear Spirit's direct connect through the message today. So if you would take time to silence your cell phone, and we will move into our announcements. And so, new visitors, your light is welcome here. We're glad you're here today. Helps us shine our light as you shine your light in that one light of love. And so, our vision at CSL Worldwide and CSL Beaumont right here is a world that works for everyone. And I like to say it's not a world that works for someone. It's a world that works for everyone and all at once. Our purpose is awakening humanity to its spiritual magnificence. We're pretty magnificent. The conditions of the world are transformed into that consciousness of love. And our CSLB mission is transforming lives one thought at a time. Not 2 thoughts, not 3 thoughts, just one thought at a time begins our transformation into that consciousness of love and kindness and presence. And so now I'm going to invite you to turn to your neighbor and say howdy to somebody you haven't seen in a while, somebody you haven't said hi to, somebody you don't know. So just a howdy neighbor. And Mr. Rogers says, if we would just say hello to somebody that we hadn't said hello to every day, it would change the world. So howdy neighbor, howdy to all of you. And George, now we're ready for our opening song.
Okay, so today I'd like to do Love Is My Decision. So for some reason, my brain has a hard time playing and singing this song at the same time, so I'm going to need your help. The words are on the screen. I'm sure many of you are familiar with this already, so why don't we all stand and sing Love Is My Decision.
Do you have a microphone?
Oh, my pedal is not working. That's because it wasn't the pedal I was smashing.
Microphone for Adian.
Love is my decision. It's up to me to give of my heart. Love is my decision. No one else can tell me to start. And once I decide to change my mind, love will show me how. Love is my decision right here and now. Love is my decision. It's up to me to depend on that bridge. Love is my decision. It's up to me, can help me forgive. And once I decide to guard my mind, love will show me how. Love is my decision right here and now. Love is my decision. It's up to me to stand on that road. Love is my decision. No one else could lighten my load. And once I decide to change my mind, God will show me how. Love is my decision right here and now. Thank you.
So we want to thank George for being in the house today. We really appreciate his musical talent, his musical gifts, and his musical presence. And so right now, it's time right here now to go into our announcements. And we're going to start with our first announcement is adopt a prosperity pumpkin. And we've invited each of you to take a pumpkin home, put any unexpected income during the week, and bring it back. And so Ross and I have been practicing this unexpected income. We started at the beginning of our program and tithing in, and unexpected income is rushing in. So we were on a cruise this week, and I went to the casino, and I played blackjack, and I left with $375 of the casino's money. So I have $37.50 to tithe for unexpected income. And if you go to a casino and you win, trust me, it's unexpected income, because that doesn't happen very often, even if you're in a prosperity consciousness. So your unexpected income, and it has just been flowing. It's just been flowing. So remember, when you tithe 10%, you still got 90% left, and it makes you appreciate that there's always enough and more than enough, and that's the idea of tithing. And so this is the point where you give and tithe to the center, right? You're good. And this is the point Betty Ann is stepping up right now, and she's going to talk about the part where you receive your good. So you give your good and you receive your good, and Betty Ann's going to talk about that.
Okay. Oh, I'm on. Good morning, Godlings. This is a gratitude from the membership committee. And I like to read my old Science of Mind magazines, and it says, gratitude turns into what we have into enough. And so it is. So I'm going to ask someone to please somebody told me they couldn't remember or think about their gratitude. The first gratitude all of us have is that we woke up. All by ourselves. Oh dear. This person is not here.
They still win.
No, not this one.
Okay. What ultimate prize?
Okay. I'm going to read this person's gratitudes and then I'll tell you who it is. All the opportunities God gives me when there is room. My spiritual center, my friends and family, the gift that God gave me, and the space God creates to share my gifts with vision. Where is Adrian? He can't have it. However, I did put this is the gift certificate that I will give to Adrian, and he put this in here this morning, and we always complain. I'm speaking in this microphone, and he's not complaining, so that's a win. So don't forget to get your gratitudes in here, and we'll do this until the end of the month, all of November. Thank you.
Thank you, Betty Ann, for showing it's a giving and a receiving. And that's the way it works. We call that reciprocity in this teaching. And Betty Ann read from the Science of Mind magazine that as we tithe, there's always enough. And I would like to expand that into a greater good, calling onto a greater good. There's not only enough, there's enough and more than enough. And that's what, as we tithe, we come to experience that in our life. Enough and more than enough. And that's why we practice the principle of tithing in our Science of Mind teaching. Our volunteer of the month is the very person who made this very slide that you're looking at. So the person who made this very slide that you're looking at is Darla Mondragon, and she's the new person of our social media team and our graphics team and working on our prosperity program for us. So that's pretty good when you're the person who made the slide and you're the person who is our volunteer of the month. So thank you, Darla, for all you do. Somebody who has enough and more than enough love and enough and more than enough energy. And boy, if you want to talk about enough and enough and enough of creativity, holy moly, be in the presence of Darla, because she's creating all over the place with that spiritual energy. We're so grateful you're part of the center. So, so grateful. Our flower ministry, we are so grateful with Sharon Gillis sponsored these today. And was it in the name of anyone particularly, or? Norm, for Norm. So these are in honor of her husband, Norm, in memory of her husband, Norm, who recently made his transition. So we want to thank Sharon for stepping up and sponsoring and contributing to our flower program. There's a calendar in the hall. Anything you want to celebrate, anything you want to buy flowers for, just for no reason at all, just because of a newborn baby, just because of a new career opportunity, just because you retired, for whatever reason. If you want to share your prosperity with the center and the joy of nature and flowers and spiritual beauty, please support our flower ministry. This week, one of my favorite movies, movie night, spaghetti dinner at 5 o'clock to 5:45. We're going to have garlic bread and Caesar salad and desserts and a full spaghetti dinner. And the movie is Dead Poets Society, one of my favorite movies. It's about how one man of inspiration can inspire an entire generation of students. One man's inspiration inspires an entire generation of students. So one of my favorites, profoundly moving, deeply inspiring, and reminds us that creativity is the gift of spirit that we get to share every day. Good Grief Group, every Thursday, 1 to 2:30, right here. Join us. Journey of the Soul, new class that I'll be facilitating, new class for CSL. It's about exploring that deep within deep that Ernest Holmes talks about, that deep call of spirit, that deep call of wisdom, that deep call of consciousness, and invites us to bring that forth to the surface level, brings us forth to bring it forth in our life in so many ways. We have our Cup of Coffee Conversation Science of Mind study group. It goes up the first and third Sunday of the month. That will be next Sunday. It goes from 9 to 9:30. We sit and study this book right here, How to Speak Science of Mind. It's a lovely text. If we have anybody new, and I see somebody new, this is our gift to you for visiting us. First time since I've been here that I've seen you. So I believe it's Gilman. Is that correct? I got that correct. Gilman, welcome. Thank you for visiting us today. And that's our gift to you. Tell you everything about our center. So we're glad you're here. We're glad you're visiting. We hope you enjoy the service, and we hope you stay for our fellowship meal. We're giving away gratitude and goodness. We're giving out free turkeys. We've got beautiful turkeys for Thanksgiving with all of the sides, with stuffing and vegetables and dessert. Everything we'll be giving away here on the 17th and 18th, one of those days. Sign up for a free Thanksgiving turkey in the hall if you feel if it would help facilitate your Thanksgiving and bring more joy. We've got a turkey and a full meal for you. If you want to save that Thanksgiving turkey that we are tithing to you, and cook it another day, you're welcome to come here. We're doing a full Thanksgiving meal. And we're doing that. We're having sides, vegetables, turkey, ham, roast salmon. You're welcome. We invite you to bring side dishes, whatever your favorite sides are. It's Thanksgiving Day right here in this sanctuary we set up for Thanksgiving Day, and it'll start at 1 p.m. So come join us for a full Thanksgiving meal. We'd love to see you here. Metaphysical bingo. First Sunday of the month, we always like to do a workshop or a game or something. And so after lunch, first Sunday of the month, we're doing metaphysical bingo. There will be prizes to win. You can buy one card for $3. We'll play 4 games, or 4 cards for $10. We have 3 gift cards that will be rewarded, and the 4th game, you split the pot. Whatever comes in, you split half of the cash pot. So join us for metaphysical bingo. Join Ross and myself at our home for a holiday meal. And we'll be cooking a holiday meal for 6 people at our home, and then we're sponsoring them at the Plaza Theater for Bells, Brass, and Sass, the Gay Men's Choir concert this year. This is a little early, but to give you an idea, get it on your calendar. We're doing an afternoon Christmas Eve service, music candlelight service with Al Yankee. It'll be followed by a Christmas Eve dinner, and that begins on the 24th at 3:30 p.m., so join us for candlelight and Christmas Eve dinner. And at the end of the month, we're jumping, but get this on your calendar, we're celebrating Kwanzaa with us. Refreshments are provided. Eve Evans and African Drumming will be part of the event, and it's Saturday, December 27th at 3 p.m. It's free to everyone. Love offerings are appreciated. Join us for that. And today, bring it more contemporary, we invite you to stay, eat, and connect with our after-service community potluck. It's a wonderful place to get and meet new people and share new stories and have a wonderful meal. So I know there's chicken pot pie out there, and there's soup out there, and homemade soup, so we got a really good meal, and I think maybe some sandwiches, so join us. And right now, we're going to kick off, that is this Wednesday, and it's for ministers and practitioners only. So if you're a minister or practitioner, Wednesday we are having a meeting here. It's a meet and greet and a lunch and conscious conversations about how practitioners and ministers can bring forth this teaching. So if you're a minister or practitioner, you know someone, you're welcome to join us. Please come and join us if you're a minister or practitioner. And this week, we kick off with Mission Impossible, and it's our prosperity campaign. Say yes to prosperity. Make your pledge to our CSLB 2026 pledge campaign. And Lois, if you would come up and she's going to talk, she's a believer in tithing on unexpected income. I don't think she won anything in the casino this week, but she said, no, not in the casino this week. And so she's going to come up and talk to us about unexpected income and tithing, and how it's shown up in her life. So welcome, Ingram, to the stage.
Thank you. You know, I've been a student of the science of mind teaching for many years, but I have to say, when I first heard the first talk, I didn't understand anything. But I stuck with it. I started taking classes. And I cannot tell you how it has improved my life over the years. I'm still learning. You know, I still read and I still take classes because it has had such a wonderful, positive, and successful influence in my life. So anyway, I would encourage all of you if you're not currently taking classes or workshops, take them, because you get something out of every single thing that you take and every single thing that you read. I just had a mental awakening this week just reading something in a book, and it's a wonderful experience. Also, the prosperity in my life has expanded exponentially over the years based on this teaching, but you have to put it into practice. And as Reverend Michael and others know, I'm a great believer in affirmations, and they really work for me. Also, one of the classes that some of us took was on prosperity, and one of the activities was to tithe on unexpected income. I do that every month that I have any unexpected income. I make a little note, and the first Sunday of the month is when I donate it. And I really enjoy doing it because the more I give, it seems like the more I receive too. So also, I've been with the center for over 15 years. And I have to tell everybody how much I really appreciate it, because it's right here in the Pass area. It's convenient, it's local, and we have wonderful activities to take part in. And so I have joy in giving to support this teaching. I want this center and all the centers to expand and grow and prosper. And so I invite all of you, if you haven't done so already, to fill out your pledge sheet for support of next year, because this, I can't just imagine not having this center and having this teaching. Thank you.
Thank you, Lois. That's a great testimonial to a lifetime of practicing this teaching and practicing this presence. And I think Lois hit on it. You don't give to get joy. You give and you feel joy. You don't give to get. But when you do give, what you get back is beyond words. You get a smile. You get a thank you. You get a note sometimes of gratitude for helping me. We had someone recently come here and ask if we could help support them with food. And I said, we just happen to be doing a Thanksgiving turkey giveaway, and her face just lit up. So we don't give to get joy. We give from that place of joy within us. And as we do, it expands from the within of our heart to the without of the love in this world. And that's what prosperity is about. And that's what tithing on unexpected income is about. And that's what filling out your pledge card for our 2026 pledge campaign. Mission possible. We know all things are possible to those who believe. I'm believing it for you. I'm inviting you to believe it for me. And let's believe prosperity for the center, that 2026 will be the best and most prosperous year this center has ever experienced in terms of financial abundance, in terms of new members, in terms of new classes, in terms of new events, in terms of a new consciousness that will expand from the walls of the center to the locality of this community and to the world around us. So fill out your pledge card. Know with me, this is a mission possible. CSLB is on the path for its best year ever. And together I invite us to say, and so it is. And so now, George, if we want to go into our meditative song, and then I will invite Siv to come up while George is playing.
Day after day, there are many paths to choose. Some may win and some may lose. Only to one, where the hearts that tarry there believe in love beyond compare. Finally I trust your embrace and give thanks for the journey the source of my creation, opening to this place of transformation. Now I see love that lives in me. I return to the glory of our oneness, flourishing, fearless, free, and fully conscious. Mightily I stand and sing, I have returned.
I don't know how many of you have actually read this big book, but I could give a little introduction. Before you even get into the first page, there's this lovely page that Dr. Holmes wrote, and it tells you what this book is about. These lessons are dedicated to the truth, which frees man from himself and sets him on the pathway of a new experience, which enables him to see through the mist to the eternal and changeless reality. Does that sound like something you would like to read all about? Anyway, but what I wanted to read was this little poem, I would call it, that is underneath on the same page, which is called Peace Be Unto Thee, Stranger. Peace be unto thee, stranger. Enter and be not afraid. I have left the gate open, and thou art welcome to my home. There is room in my house for all. I swept the hearth and lighted the fire. The room is warm and cheerful, and you will find comfort and rest within. The table is laid, and the fruits of life are spread before thee. The wine is here also. It sparkles in the light. I've set a chair for you where the sunbeams dance through the shade. Sit and rest and refresh your soul. Eat of the fruit and drink the wine. All is yours, and you are welcome. So I think that's most wonderful. So do you all feel welcome in here right now? I would hope so. Because that's what this is about, that you should feel at home when you come here and feel welcome and like to have your soul refreshed. And I will now hope that you join in me knowing that there is one power in the universe. And this power is everywhere. It surrounds us. It's in us. It's beneath us. It's behind us. It's in front of us. It is everywhere. It's what you sit on. And this power is the power that makes all things possible. And I know that this power will be with us here today in this service. And I know that everyone that is partaking and making this service possible, even those that are participating in the aisles here, will get something wonderful out of this service. The music, the words by Reverend Curcuru, and the music that comes from our IT path in the back, all enhances for us here present in person and for those who are present online. For this I am so grateful, knowing that this service here today will really lift us up and put us in a better life and go forward in the rest of the week with a heightened awareness of the light that guides us along. So if you can join me in saying, and so it is. And I would add a little amen to that.
Amen. So I want to thank Siv. It's her first time stepping into, give her a round of applause, into practitioner consciousness. And she's been in practitioner consciousness a long, long time, and doing the power talk and the power reading for us. I didn't ask her until about 10 minutes before service, and I reminded her that in this teaching, the yes evolves spirit and no doesn't grow. So I said, I'm expecting to hear a yes from you on this. And she said, well, it depends on what you ask. So I asked if she'd do the power talk, and she said, yes, I will. So I really appreciate our willingness to say yes. Our willingness to say yes to this teaching. A willingness to say yes, as Betty Ann said, being grateful for getting out of bed today. And a willingness to say yes to everything good and a greater good I was working on my talk and actually started on a boat. Ross was not happy. I pulled up my laptop and started. I said, I got to get going on it Thursday and Friday, and then finished it yesterday. And when I was doing it, I thought about the reading that we just heard. And I thought this teaching is about releasing fear and stepping into the faith and the freedom of coming to know who we are, of coming to know who and whose we are. And we are one with that eternal spirit. We are one with that eternal presence. We are one with that eternal life. And we're one with this eternal light behind us. And I was thinking about how do I get from the here of fear to the now of faith? And I thought, for myself, or myself thought I, and Emerson say, do we think the thought, or does the thought think us? I think more often as we move into spirituality, the thought thinks us. And that thought is the thought of the thing itself. That thought is that thing of spirit. And I don't know why I do this like spirit's out there, because that's not our teaching. Spirit's not up there, and spirit's not down there. Spirit's in here. And how many ministers I see use CSL? Awareness. And it's just been so ingrained. Spirit, oh, wait a minute, it's not out there, in here. And I was thinking, moving from fear to faith, that faith is my willingness to let go of my fear. That's faith. It's my willingness to let go of my fear of the unknown, my fear of health issues, my fear of lack of prosperity, my fear of lack of creativity, my fear of lack of spiritual connection. And I came to realize that faith is letting go of fear. It's that simple. It's that simple. Faith is our willingness to say yes to letting go of fear. That's what faith is for me. It's a willingness to say yes to letting go of fear. And so, one of the ways we let go of fear, I invite you to let go of fear, is by taking a look at the story of Adam and Eve. And the story of Adam and Eve in traditional fundamental teaching is the story of good and evil. There's this tree of good and evil, and there's apples, and Adam and Eve are told, do not eat those apples. Don't eat those apples. And, of course, they eat the apples. And that's original sin. And then they fell out of heaven, and conditions undesirous showed up, and that's original sin. If you break the rules, if you break away from fundamental teaching, if you break away from a hierarchical teaching of golds and paintings and buildings that invests in those more than they invest in people, that's sin to me. That's sin to me. But this is the teaching of original blessing. We don't believe in original sin. And what we think of sin, S-I-N, is self-inflicted nonsense. Somebody inflicted nonsense on you, and then you inflicted it on yourself, and that's how it works. And then we inflict it on somebody else. Self-inflicted, who inflicted nonsense on you? This nonsense of trees of good and evil. And we like to move from the nonsense into the common sense of original blessing. That's this teaching. The transformation of letting go of the fear of original sin and into the faith of original blessing. And in the Garden of Eden, if it had been planted in science of mind, if it was a science of mind garden or a science of mind rose garden that we have up front here, the garden would say on the tree, on the apple tree, the sign that science of mind would put out, it wouldn't say don't eat the apples, it would say eat all the apples you want. Eat all the apples you want. And that's the shift from original sin to original blessing. We believe in take all the apples you want because there are more than enough apples for everybody. And so it's said of life, how much are we willing to receive? And how much I'm willing to receive is according to how much I'm willing to believe in my faith and banish my fear. And so I saw this quote on the boat, and it resonated with me, and it goes like this. It is said of life, we live in borrowed time. We walk in rented shoes. And we live life from the wrong question. The wrong question is there life after death? The question life asks us to live forth from, is there life after birth? How many people do we know came into this planet full of life and full of livelihood and full of creativity and full of joy and full of singing and full of laughter, and all of a sudden they get shut down? Children are meant to be seen and not heard. Stop laughing, stop singing, stop creating. And we begin to believe that children are meant to be seen and not heard, and then we come to believe we're not even supposed to be seen. We're not even supposed to be seen, and so where do we go with that? We stop seeing ourselves. We stop believing in ourselves. And we stop believing in the goodness of knowing that there's enough and more than enough. When we stop believing the self-inflicted nonsense that other people put upon us. And yet as we spiritually mature, no one can put anything upon us that we don't allow them to put upon us. No one can put anything upon us that we do not allow them to put upon us. And so science of mind is not about the put uponness of live your life for the greater reward in the here and after. Now, we're not saying there isn't something in the here and after. We believe there is. But we also believe the here and now is where we're meant to live our life, where we're meant to live in joy, where we're supposed to plant all the apple trees we want, eat all the apples we want, and the more apple seeds we plant, the more apples we have, and the more apples we plant, the more apple seeds we have. Can we begin to see this cycle of moving from the sin of don't eat the apple to the original blessing of the more I eat apples, the more seeds I have, the more seeds I plant, the more trees I have, the more trees I have, the more trees of life for other people to see and partake of. Science of mind is about priming prosperity, and it's about priming the prosperity of the seeds of consciousness that what we hold in the seed of our spiritual thought becomes the soul and the nourishment of our soul, where those seeds grow into the manifestation of life being good and more than good and more than enough and more than enough and enough. Called prosperity consciousness. It's how we prime our consciousness, is we don't let people put things upon us, but we take upon ourselves the willingness to create our own journey, to create our own system, to create our own garden of good. It's not out there. It's in here, that garden of good. It's the garden of good of the love in our heart. It's the garden of good of the love in our soul. And it's the garden of good of the life that we live and the words that we speak and the actions we take. Because the thoughts we think become the words we speak. And the words we speak create the life we live. Science of mind is not about dwelling upon what's in the here and after. Science of mind is about living from the wellspring of life that's right here and now. Think of Niagara Falls. Spirit, right here and now. Spirit in action. The wellspring of life. Think of Niagara Falls. The wellspring of life. Think of the vastness of the oceans. Right here and now. Right here and now, in our presence. Spirit energy expressing in physical form. Think of the forever of the sky. Think of the forever of the sky. There's no sin of limitation in the forever of the sky, but there is the original blessing that we come to the awareness of owning in the original blessing, the original bounty, the original beauty, the original bodaciousness of who we are, that the sky is not the limit. Our belief systems are. Science of mind is about heaven's prosperous promise. And heaven's prosperous promise to all of us and to each of us. To all of us and to each of us is that all is yours. All is well. All the time. That was Siv's reading today. Welcome to my home. My table is set with abundance and wine. The light sparkles through the windows as they shine through. And you are welcome. You're welcome to it all. That's our Science of Mind teaching. John 4, verses 13 and 14, from more traditional, and we're 40% based in traditional fundamental Christianity, shares this of priming consciousness. Whoever drinks from the water I give him shall never thirst again. Enough and more than enough. Tithing. As you give, so you receive. Tithing. Enough and more than enough. Whoever drinks of this water, but it's your willingness to drink from the water. What water are you going to drink from? What water are you going to drink from? Whoever drinks of the water I give him shall never thirst again. The water that I shall give him will become in him a well of water springing up to eternal life, eternal love, eternal abundance. Enough and more than enough. That's heaven's prosperous promise to us all, as stated in John 4:13-14. All is yours, all is well, all the time. The story of Miriam's rock. How many people know the story of Miriam, the story of Miriam's rock? How many people know this in the Jewish tradition? Miriam's rock. It's a wonderful story. She was a member of a tribe that was moving through the desert 40 days, 40 nights, 40 years, whatever your time in the desert is. It's up to you to choose that. It could be 40 hours or 40 minutes or 40 seconds. You get to spend the amount of time you want to spend in the desert any way you want to spend it in the desert. It's your choice. But Science of Mind would recommend that you not buy into the sin of the consciousness, the fundamental teaching that you've got to spend 40 years or 40 weeks or 40 months or 40 days or 40 minutes or 40 seconds in this desert, in this darkness. Science of Mind would invite you to bring in that wellness of knowing, that wholeness of being, that presence of seeing beyond seeing, that beyond the fundamental surface level of the Christian teaching is an absolute deep well of spiritual truth. And that deep well of spiritual truth is that when you're in the dark night of the desert of your soul, and we've all been there, and some of us are there now, and some of us will be there tomorrow, but the key to all of this, don't stop and build a condo there. Keep moving. Keep moving. Original sin, you're going to spend 40 days and 40 nights in this dry desert. It'll be dark, and it's going to be cold, and there won't be any water or any food. Original blessing. When you find yourself in the dark night of the desert of your soul, don't stop and build a condo. Keep moving. Where are you building a condo in your consciousness where you don't want to move into? Where in your consciousness are you building a condo that you never want to move into? How about that concept of fear to faith? How about that concept of scarcity? Scarcity is a place I don't ever want to move into. I don't want to ever move into scarcity. I'd rather move into a condo that I build in my consciousness out of prosperity thinking, out of prosperity tithing, out of prosperity principles, and I want to move into the city of prosperity. It's your choice. Are you going to move into a condo that you build in scarcity, or are you going to move into a condo of consciousness that you build in prosperity? It's your choice. It's your choice. It's your consciousness. It's your condo. You know, heaven's prosperous promise to Marion, and she had a rock, and she was in this desert with thousands of people looking for water. And she tapped that rock wherever she was, and wherever she tapped that rock on the ground in the desert, water flowed. I mean, an abundance of water flowed. I mean, a gusher of water flowed. Enough water and more than enough water to quench the thirst of the thousands that were following her. She believed in that rock of Gibraltar, that rock of her faith, that rock of centeredness, that rock of awareness, that rock of goodness, that rock of kindness, that rock of abundance. She believed in that rock. And as we believe, so we receive. She believed that rock could tap into the vibration of water in the ground and bring that water forth from without. That's our Science of Mind teaching. It's heaven's promise to each and all of us that as we believe, so we receive. That's prosperity. That's priming prosperity. Heaven's promise is the promise of our prosperity. It's a promise. It's the promise of our power to choose. It's a promise. It's the promise of the premise. All is yours and all is well all the time. So in priming prosperity, which we do through tithing, which we do through sharing love, which we do through sharing our creativity, which we choose through the way we honor our body temple, of vitality or non-vitality. It's a choice. You prime your consciousness by doing the actions that bring that energy through you, that allow you to bring all of Spirit's energy through you, all of Spirit's creativity through you, all of Spirit's abundance through you, and you come to a place of knowing beyond knowing. That what I choose and how I choose it and how I choose to see it creates the life that shows up, creates the life that I live. And with the power of this teaching, it will create a life that you love, a life that you love every morning, a life that you love every breath that you breathe, a life that you will love every beat of your heart, a life that will be so vital and so precious and so prosperous that your life and your light and your love will become the priming of the consciousness of so many. Miriam held a light for so many. So I like to see science of mind as an a la carte of consciousness, right? I like a la carte. You get to choose this. We're on the boat. You had a restaurant. You got to choose the filet. You got to choose lobster tail. You got to choose whatever you wanted to choose. And the meal that was set before you was the meal that you chose. It was the meal that you ordered up. And so what's your order up for science of mind? What's your order up in consciousness? What are you ordering up? What are you ordering up in a la carte of consciousness? Because what you're ordering up in a la carte of consciousness is going to be the meal of life that nourishes and sustains you or drains you. Or drains you. So I like to see science of mind and priming prosperity this way. I like to see it as the a la carte of consciousness, and among the prime cuts, the filet mignon of science of mind prosperity consciousness, among the premium choices, the Dom Perignon of prosperity consciousness, among the premier presents, the Godiva chocolates of science of mind prosperity consciousness. You can tell I was on a cruise this week, a cruise into consciousness. And we can choose to prime the prosperity of our consciousness through the a la carte of our conscious choice. And the a la carte of our conscious choice is the consciousness of knowing beyond knowing. You don't even have to look at the menu at some point. You don't have to look at the menu of our principles. You don't have to look at the menu of science of mind practices. You just get to become the means of the highways and the byways of the presence of the spiritual energy, and you don't need a menu anymore. You just presence it. You just be it. And you just become it. And you know what? We're on the love boat. Princess is the love boat, their theme, you know. And I thought of Captain Steubing. Where's Captain Steubing when I need him? Where's my Captain Steubing cape? And Julie, where's my Julie cape? I need my Julie cape. I have to be nice to people even when I don't like them. Poor Julie. Poor cruise directors. And so this is what I came to know. And this is what Spirit primed my consciousness with. And this is what touched my heart this week. I'm the captain of my own ship. I'm the captain of my own fate. And I'm the captain of my consciousness. This week on this boat with 4,000 people, Ross and I, because of our prolonged time with Science of Mind, long time, decided to presence kindness and caring and compassion. And the day we were leaving, we were having breakfast early in the buffet lounge at 5:30. We had an early walk-off. And I said to Ross, there were people from 32 nations on that boat. There were people who spoke 85 languages on that boat. An entire 7 days of 4,000 people together We did not hear one disparaging word. We did not hear one argument. We saw people holding elevator doors. We saw people helping the buffet stewards out when it was so busy and going getting a pot of coffee and filling other people's coffee cups. It wasn't the stewards to serve you. It was the stewards to serve you to the best of your ability, and then it was ours to serve them to the best of our ability. How are you serving this teaching? How are you serving it up? How are you calling it up? What's your a la carte of consciousness? The a la carte of consciousness was not only the love boat, but it was a boat in where the language of love was spoken. And moments before we got off the boat, we were sitting before they called our number, and I just broke down into tears. And it was powerful, and it was presencing, and it was Spirit's a la carte of consciousness choosing to me to feel the gratitude, to be with the gratitude, to share the gratitude through my tears. And I said, all of my life experiences, I am so glad to be here. Not on Princess Cruises, not on vacation. I am so glad to be presencing the presence by my willingness to allow the presence to presence itself in, as, and through me. Priming prosperity for me is becoming the choice of living in the grace of the open question. And the open question leads to another question and another, and the first question is, what is mine to do? Why am I here? Who am I becoming? And right now in this moment, who am I? Who am you? Who are you? Why are you here? What is yours to do? And are you willing to release the sin of the false belief of original sin and open to the beautiful blessing of the original blessing, that you can release everything you know and you can turn it over to that knowingness of Spirit, and that knowingness of Spirit will guide you and direct you and love you to the person you were always meant to be. And you don't have to do anything. But in your willingness to not do anything, you get to become Spirit's everything. Priming prosperity, boy, it was primed this week. Boy, it is primed in my life. Boy, it is primed at breakfast, at lunch, and at dinner. Boy, is it primed in my body temple. Boy, is it primed in my spiritual principles. Boy, is it primed in my spiritual practices. Boy, has it moved from the priming of my prosperity in the prime goodness of knowing the prosperity of enough and more than enough. Ernest Holmes shares this. He invites us to live in the grace of an open heart. He invites us to live in the grace of giving, receiving, and believing. And he shares this of the grace of giving, believing, and receiving. I would rather have one person who believes and lives these principles of good unfolding to a greater good of enough and more than enough than 1,000 learned people who know them. Science of mind is not about how many degrees of education you have. It's about how much of the love in your heart you give away. It's about how much of the creativity in your soul you bring forth into the life you live, and it's about knowing all is yours, all is well, all the time. Priming prosperity is about naming and claiming and affirming. It's about naming and claiming and affirming. As I tithe, so I thrive. I invite you to say that with me. As I tithe, so I thrive. And again, as I thrive, so I tithe. And say it as though you believe it, because what you believe is what you're going to receive and what you achieve. As I tithe, so I thrive. Priming prosperity is not about tithing 3 coins in a fountain and wondering which one the fountain will bless. That's kind of Hollywood hyperbole. Priming prosperity is about our 3 coins of spiritual consciousness. The first coin is the coin of love. And Matthew chapter 22, verses 36-40 share this. The first coin of spiritual consciousness is love. Love is the greatest gift. Love is the greatest commandment. Love is the greatest consciousness. Love is the greatest principle. Love is the greatest practice. Any question about what the first spiritual coin is in spiritual teaching and New Thought Awakening as we move from original sin, that there's not enough coin, into the original blessing, that the coins we're talking about are abundant beyond material wealth? The second coin of spiritual consciousness is the coin of faith. Martin Luther King Jr. spoke this of faith. Faith is taking the first step even when you can't see the whole stairway. I like to say of faith, F-A-I-T-H, the acronym faith is falling always into heaven. You think you're falling down, you're not. You're falling into heaven. You think you're jumping up high, you're not. You're falling into heaven. You think you're falling sideways or backwards or frontwards or forwards. You're always falling into heaven. That's priming prosperity consciousness. You know, it's also said of faith. Faith is what's left when we choose to let our fears fall away. Faith is what's left when we choose to let our fears fall away. What fear are you going to let fall away today? You're going to let go of the fear of original sin? You're going to come into the faith of original blessing? You're going to let go of the fear of lack? You're going to come into the faith of liberty? You're going to let go of the fear of illness and come into the faith of wellness? You kind of let go of the fear that I'm not enough and come into the faith of I'm perfect, whole, and complete. Priming prosperity relates to the third coin of spiritual consciousness. And that is probably the coin I least knew I had, and I now most often use. Hope is the coin I least knew I had, and it's the coin I now come to use the most. Emily Dickinson shared this of hope. Hope is the thing with feathers that perches in the soul and sings its tune without words and never stops to ask a thing of me. Rumi shares this of hope. If light is in your heart, you will find your way home to hope. If light is in your heart, you will find your way home to hope. And Theodore Roosevelt, good old Teddy, right, shared this of hope. I love this one. When you're at the end of your rope, tie a knot of hope and hang on and hang on and hang on. It's your rope. It's your knot. It's your life. It's your faith. It's your light. When you're at the end of your rope, tie a knot of hope and hang on and hang on and hang on. Priming prosperity is about the sharing of love and life and laughter. It's about sharing it with ourselves. Oh, I got to remind myself, I love to laugh, I love life. I got to remind myself, I didn't remind myself, Spirit reminded me in those last moments. I wasn't crying because the cruise was over, I was crying because in the presence of 4,000 people, I came to know myself better than I've ever known myself. I came to like myself better than I ever liked myself. And I came to like 4,000 people better than I ever thought I could like 4,000 people. How do you do that? How do you do that? You let go of your fear, and you move into the faith of the goodness of all people. Priming prosperity is about sharing love and laughter with ourselves, with others, and with each other. And this week, Ross and I got to do all of the above. We got to share love, we got to share life, we got to share laughter with ourselves. We got to share it with others, and we got to share it individually with ourselves. Priming prosperity is about the royal regalcy of friends, old and new and now. And Ernest Holmes uses that phrase only once in the entire Science of Mind text. Life is a royal regalcy, and most poor fools are starving. Most poor fools are starving, and life is a royal regalcy of the gifts of heaven that are present to you. All is well, all the time. All the gifts are here for you. It's a royal regalcy. Put on your crown. Put on your jewels. Put on the consciousness of knowing. You're royal. You're regal. And you're willing and ready of receiving this good. Be ready. Be willing to receive your royal regalcy of coming to know who you are. We were on the boat. I left the blackjack table because I was ahead, and I heard my dad saying, leave a winner, leave a winner, leave a winner. And I wanted to play more, and my dad said, leave a winner. I wanted to play more, and I didn't. And we left, and we went to the coffee shop about 9 or 10 o'clock at night, and I'm getting a coffee, and Ross looks over and says, he recognized somebody. He said, I don't know who that person is, but I know them. And that person looked at Ross and said, I don't know who that is, but I know them. And I turned around, and it was Reverend Judy Osuna who was spoken here. I've known for years through ministry. And Reverend Judy's on the boat, and we didn't know it. And she was there with 2 friends, and we had coffee, and then we had a wonderful lunch with them the next day. So we had this royal regalcy of a willingness to receive a friendship of the old Judy that I knew, new friends that they have, and the now of the friendship of coming to know myself better and loving myself better every day. What's your royal regalcy of friendship? Priming Prosperous is the royal regalcy of friends, old and new and now. Ernest Holmes speaks of a royal regalcy, and I believe the royal regalcy of which he speaks is the royal regalcy of friendship. Right? It's friendship. Carol Burnett spoke of the prosperity of friendship this way. I'm so glad we have this time together just to share a laugh or sing a song. Seems we just get started, and before you know it, comes the time we have to say so long. The royal regalcy of friendship, right? It comes along when you least expect it. It comes along when you're willing to receive it. And it comes along when you're willing to achieve it by the way you choose from your a la carte of consciousness. I will be kind. I will be open. I will be loving. I will love myself first. I will love you second. And I'm going to take that back. I will love Spirit first. I will love myself second. And I will love all of you third. Sorry. Pecking order. And I would expect it to be the same for you. I would expect you to love Spirit first, yourself second, and me third. Or at least a close third. Walter Winchell shared this of priming the prosperity of friendship. A real friend is one who walks in when the rest of the world walks out. How many of you have had the original blessing of having a friend walk in when the rest of the world walked out? How many, by show of hands? You have been blessed by the gift of friendship. You have been blessed by the prosperity of friendship. You have been blessed by the prosperity of the gift of friendship. A real friend is one who walks in when the rest of the world walks out. Guess what? Guess what Science of Mind is? Guess what Siv read to you today? Peace be unto you, stranger. You are welcome at my table. I've set it with the best gifts, the best wine, the best food. The light through the windows is the brightest and the shiniest and the most divine, and you are welcome to all of it. That's the gift of friendship. We set the best table for people. We use the best wine. We use the best tablecloths. And I hear my mom saying, and you also use your best manners. Try to anyway. Get your elbows off the table. Or is there the dining room princess going, Mom, I'm too tired. I'm holding my head up. Get your elbows off the table. John Evelyn says this. Friendship is the golden thread that ties the knot of love around the entire world. Isn't that beautiful? Friendship is the golden thread that ties the knot of love around the world. And this week on Princess, from our point of view, from our point of perspective, from our priming of our prosperity, we were part of that golden thread that embraced the entire world in love. And that entire world of 4,000 people, that tapestry of 4,000 people and 1,500 crew serving us, and all of that, and the people who made the boat, and the people who made the fuel for the boat, and the people who made the gangways, and the people who made the waterways and the pathways, everyone in their own way was embracing each and everyone else in that golden thread of consciousness called love. Look, priming prosperity is about learning to walk and to talk and to live our life in the seed, the soil, and the certainty of knowing heaven's prosperous promise that all is yours, all is well, all of the time. Priming prosperity is our consciousness of seed, soil, and plant. That's our consciousness. That's our lesson. That's our teaching. That's our truth. We prime prosperity through the concept of seed, soil, and plant as we allow the seed of heaven's promise to flow in as and through the openness of our soul. The oneness of heaven's harvest, of heaven's promise, of heaven's prosperity becomes the reality of the life we here and now live. You are welcome. All is yours. All is well. All the time. Priming prosperity is about being in tune with the infinite. It is not about being in tune with the indefinite. Well, I might try this, or I might try that, or I think I'd like this, or I think I'd like that, or I think I'd like to be a dancer, or I think I'd like to be a minister. I think I'd like to be financially prosperity. I think I'd like to be a good parent. I think I'd like to be a good son, a good daughter. You know, priming prosperity is not about thinking about being in tune with the infinite. It's doing the spiritual work that brings you in alignment with the truth of who you are. It's about taking classes. It's about tithing. It's about reading. It's about studying. It's about presencing spirit wherever you are and wherever you go. Being in tune with the infinite is about being grateful for the hellos we said along the way. Hello, how are you? Won't we tell you your name? Right? The doors. Being in tune with the infinite is about being grateful for shared song, shared laughter, and shared love. Being in tune with the infinite is about being grateful for Spirit's prosperity. And this one I love because when I look back, it's my truth that I didn't see in the moment. Being in tune with the infinite is being grateful for Spirit's prosperity of soft landings in a bumpy world. And when you look back, your landings were softer than they would have been if Spirit hadn't been there. I don't care how hard you think you landed, because what I'm telling you is the spiritual truth that your landing was softer because of Spirit's presence. You may not have known it, and you may have felt it was a hard landing, but Spirit always takes your hard landings and softens them with your heart opening. Spirit always takes your hard landing and opens it with your heart opening. That's a gift of Spirit. Priming prosperity is about priming the spiritual pump of our heart with a thimbleful of love from our soul, and thereby bringing forth a fountain of hope into our lives. All it takes is a thimbleful of love from our soul primes the fountain of hope into our lives. Prosperity consciousness is knowing that I'm so glad we had this time together to share a laugh and sing a song, and it seems we just got started. Priming prosperity consciousness is about firming and naming and claiming. As I tithe, so I thrive. And I invite you to say that with me. As I tithe, so I thrive. That's our talk today. Priming prosperity. Lots of ways to do it. Lots of ways to move through it. Lots of ways to release the fear of original thing and bring in the faith of original blessing. I know today in some way you will find a way to move from a thought of original sin, I'm not enough, I'm not good enough, I'm not thin enough, I'm not rich enough, I'm not lucky enough, into the original blessing of truth that you are enough, you are good enough, you are loved enough. You're good enough for God. It's time to admit and to become good enough for yourself. It's time to become good enough for yourself. And to know that as we tithe that goodness, so that goodness thrives in us. And so it is, and so ends our talk, and so let's take it into prayer. There's this prayer of abundanza, this prayer of absolute knowing. This prayer of releasing. This is a prayer of rejoicing. And this is a prayer of receiving. I release all that no longer serves me. I receive all that deserves me and I am deserving of. And I rejoice in the knowing that I get to choose to prime the prosperity of consciousness through the a la carte of the consciousness I choose to create my life from. May your a la carte of consciousness be abundant. May your a la carte of consciousness be awareness. May your a la carte of consciousness be aliveness and oneness and goodness and truth. And together we say, and so it is. George has a song for us.
What do I do if I'm not chasing anything? What do I do if I've got everything that I need? It's a question that no one's prepared me to answer. Where do I go if I'm right where I'm supposed to be? Where do I go if wherever I am home? It's a question I'm presently wanting to answer. If the usual way doesn't work for me now, that's a void I know nothing about. What if the race is over and we automatically win? What if the game has ended long before it even begins? What if the test has been taken and we're all passing again and again? If the race is over, what then? What do I say if it's all perfect anyway? What do I say if I'm not here to change anyone? It's a question I truly don't know how to answer. How do I live if my life is eternity? How do I live if I'm no longer afraid to die? It's a mystery, no one can give me the answer. If the usual way doesn't work anymore, there's a map for what life holds in store. What if the race is over and we all automatically win? What if the game has ended long before it even begins? What if the test has been taken and we're all passing again and again? If the race is over, what then? What is the purpose of time here on earth? How do I define my life and my birth? For what matters, what is my life really worth in the end? What's mine to give and what's mine to receive? Whom do I worship? What do I believe? Seems every answer comes right back to me in the end. What if the race is over and we all automatically win? What if the game has ended long before it even begins? What if the test has been taken and we're all passing again and again? If the race is over and we're all born victorious, if the race is over, what then?
Thank you.
So it's time to enter into that space of conscious giving. And so if you're watching online, we invite you to go to our website, cslbeaumont.org, and you can find our donation button there. If you're in-house or online, you can text GIVE 951-420-6909. You can tithe with our envelopes, you can tithe in the office, you can tithe on Zelle. But I invite you to remember in this time of tithing, and our ushers can come forth and begin collecting. I invite you to remember in this time of tithing that my experience of life and Lois's experience of life and many members of the center and of this teaching have experienced in their life that tithing is thriving. And so it is.
Join me in singing I'm So Grateful. I think Michael's put copies of the words in your program for you in case you don't know them.
Gratitude before me, gratitude behind me, gratitude to the left of me, gratitude to the right of me, gratitude above me, gratitude without me, gratitude within me, gratitude all around me, gratitude before me, gratitude behind me, gratitude to the left of me, gratitude to the right of me, gratitude above me, gratitude below me, gratitude within me, gratitude all around me. I'm so grateful, 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 I'm so grateful.
So in that casino of consciousness, right? I invite all of us right now to stand, if you so choose, and if you are so able, to circle up around the sanctuary, to join in holding hands if you're comfortable. And in that casino of consciousness, you can remain seated and just join us in consciousness, whatever you're comfortable with. And let's prime that prosperity of consciousness that we've been speaking about today. Prime that prosperity of love. Prime that prosperity of light by singing our way out as George leads us in One People.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be. With God as our power, united all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. As peace begins with me, yes, this is the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow, to take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Yes, there is peace on earth, and yes, it begins with me.
And so let's know that we're all in a top secret mission this week, and our top secret mission is the mission possible of being the light of love in this world that primes the prosperity of consciousness of enough for all and more than enough for everyone. And together we say, and so it is. All right. We have prayer in prayer room number 1 right here. Follow me, follow Yvonne. We'll be in the prayer room. Follow Steve. We're going to be in the prayer room for prayers, and we have a full luncheon in Carter Hall. So prayer